Hello and welcome to Cocktails with a Twist of History, your digital destination for all things cocktails. Well, I'm back behind the bar. Thank you for all the good wishes. And let me remind you, please send a link of this show to somebody that you know so that they can enjoy Cocktails with a Twist of History as well. In my AI episode last time, we talked about a category of cocktail called the buck. So I want to continue with the theme and tell you the history of Smirnoff vodka and the Moscow Mule. The Moscow Mule is definitely the most famous buck type cocktail. Just to remind you, a buck cocktail has some kind of spirits, ginger, and usually lime. The Moscow Mule was created specifically with Smirnoff in mind, and it also had that signature copper cup. This is the copper cup from a Moscow Mule. The history starts with Smirnoff, and the vodka distillery was founded in Moscow by a guy named Pyotr Arsenievich. I do not speak Russian, so my pronunciation is probably terrible, I'm sorry, but under the trade name of P.A. Smirnov with a V, and this was in 1864. They pioneered the idea of charcoal filtration by the 1870s, and by 1886 had captured 2/3 of the market in Moscow. Smirnoff was the first to use newspaper advertising. He also calmed the religious pressures who were calling for people to stop drinking, and he did this by donating lots of money to their cause. Okay, I have been talking way too long without a drink in my hand. Let's taste some vodka. Okay, now, vodka is made from fermented mash of starchy or sugary ingredients, most commonly grains like wheat, rye, corn, barley, sometimes potatoes, and sometimes sugar beets or grapes. The fermented liquid is then distilled to produce a high content of alcohol, high-proof ethanol alcohol, which is filtered and diluted with pure water to achieve the typically 40% 80-proof volume that is the customary for vodka. Let's pour some vodka. One of the key qualities, by the way, of vodka, because vodka itself is tasteless and odorless, but they add the water. And the water is really the key to the taste and the purity, although the grain makes a difference, and I believe the process also makes a difference. If you taste the different vodkas, it does taste different. Well, here we go. A good vodka should be smooth like any other good alcohol. It shouldn't have that burn, and it is just a very, very nice, satisfying drink. Very, very good for cocktails because it doesn't overpower the cocktail, whatever you're putting it in. Sometimes if you're using especially something like scotch or gin, whatever you put in, if it doesn't have a little bit of a kick to it, you're not gonna taste it. But this is just delicious. When the Tsar nationalized the Russian vodka industry in 1904, Vladimir Smirnov was forced to sell his factory and the brand. During the October Revolution of 1917, the Smirnov family fled the country. In 1920, Smirnov established a factory in Constantinople, which is present-day Istanbul. He later moved to Poland, and he renamed the vodka brand Smirnoff with the 2 F's. This is how it's spelled today. Sales were good in his area, but very low in the West, and so he sold the rights for distribution in the United States. A guy named John Martin, president of a company called Ublin, a company that specialized in import and export of liquors and foreign foods, bought them. He used $14,000 that the Ublin company made from a new product that had ended up saving that company from bankruptcy. Martin bought the rights to Smirnoff in 1939. His board thought that he was crazy. Americans were traditionally whiskey drinkers, unfamiliar with vodka, and so sales were slow. Sales picked up considerably after Ublin advertised it as white whiskey with no taste and no smell, and sealed the body with whiskey corks. but the sales were still not where they hoped they would be. So John Martin went across the country to try and pick up business. We'll talk next time about how he partnered to create the Moscow Mule next. But in the meantime, if you know more pieces of the history, we want to know about it, you can put it in the comments, you can email it to us, or you can tell it to the bottle. Also, please remember to hit like, to hit subscribe, to hit follow, and we want to know that you're out there so that more people can enjoy cocktails with a twist of history.